match on screen table, table 1, Jamie Graham, Jake McCartney. Jamie Graham, Jake McCartney, table 1.
You can't say that, can you?
Yes, you
His
can.
name?
Yeah, you can.
Get your bloody fingers out of the way.
What?
Blue. Oh, the yellow blue.
Steve Smart in the room, top table if you are.
I always get that.
I've got a sorted, son. My tips are right now.
Next match on table 4, Ashley Hardcastle, Paul Keeping. Ashley Hardcastle, Paul Keeping, table 4. Also the 1:30 session on table 15, Paul Johnston, Carl Egger. Paul Johnston, Carl Egger, table 15. Carl Sutton, top table. Carl Sutton, top table. On table 17, Anthony Tedds, John Baum. Anthony Tedds, John Baum, table 17. On table 18, Sammy Craddock, Sean Storey. Sammy Craddock, Sean Storey, table 18. Next match on table 16, Sean Morris, Carl Sutton. Sean Morris, Carl Sutton, table 16.
Good afternoon, welcome back to the action. Now this game between Jamie Graham from Plymouth and Jake McCartney from Australia.
Dave McNamara, Sean Chipperfield, table 20. And last match for the 1:30 session on table 19. Neil
Jamie,
Davey,
one of
Ben Young,
two brothers who
Neil Davey, Ben Young,
are on this tour.
19.
Jamie and Jez, always two popular guys, absolute gents, and two very, very good players. Albeit Jake will be favourite on paper, don't be at all surprised to see Jamie win this game. Quality player. Another one of those who realistically you probably just say he was a tier 2 player rather than a tier 1 player. I think that's fair to say, but always very dangerous in the draw. Very experienced. Doesn't do too much wrong. Keeps it simple. And of course Jake McCartney, probably the more recognisable of the two, one of the ultimate pool professionals, is staying across here in the UK currently. The number one Australian ranked player, and also another fun guy to be around, unless he's in the middle of a drinking session. Then you don't want to go near him, because if you get tangled up in that, it ends up very messy. Talking of Jamie's brother, you just saw Jez Graham come into shot on the right hand side, just taking a place next to Shane Thompson watching this game. Wow, didn't reach. Just sat over in Jamie's corner. I believe that's Jamie's son, Jordan, who is another player who plays on this tour. Not surprised to see a couple of bottles of lager over there. Those boys They know how to drink. Nice shot here from Jake. He's taken away, I think he's taken away the one cushion escape. May just be able to get through to it, but it's one of those, if you, to play this ideally, you'd go probably just to the left of the natural angle with a little bit of check side, but it takes the red out of play. That red plays pretty big. If you're playing it through the natural angle, you've only got to come just short of it, and that red plays pretty big. So it's not one of those he can play with left-hand side, because then that red is properly in the game. Oh, wow. Brilliantly judged. Very nice. Not too much Jake could do there, to be honest. Didn't have a clearance on. Needed to try and get himself 2 shots, but needed to take away that one cushion escape, because that just made it a bit too easy for Jamie. He wins the first frame. Jake with one problem ball, he can leave an angle on I was going to say, you could leave an angle on the red that was next to the one that he's just tried to knock it out with. I think that was a bit tougher, trying to get it from there. So many players in this field. This was only races to 4, but the first round started at 9 o'clock this morning. Here we are at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and still going. Talking about still going, Ian Davenport and Andy Day started at midday, and they've played 5 frames in just on 2 hours. Even Paul Moulding could beat that. He's a proper fudger. 5 frames in 2 hours. Oh, it's just finished. Ian Davenport beat Andy Day. Wade Morley is 3-2 up against Neil Wren. Declan Brennan 3-1 up against Daniel Bishop. Ben Flack 2-1 against Craig Wilson. Luke Gilbert beat Steve Singh 4-1. Jimmy Coxon 2-1 up against Dom Kearney. This is a round 2 game actually, so as it says on the screen, the first round 2 games that are underway. Oh, that one's gone. They want to leave an angle, but don't want to leave this much. Ah, that's a little bit too much back arm in that one. He's run through probably 4 inches further than he wanted. Maybe a bit of adrenaline. Still goes, but a tricky shot, and he's lost the cue ball. A little bit unlucky. I think he caught the bump of the middle pocket. Yeah, all of the games are on qscore.com. Just go there, click on the live tab, and you can see all of the current scores. You can see the entire draw. One that got away here from Jamie Graham should have been 2-0, but Jake Mccartney's going to win the frame, and it's 1 each.
I think you caught the knuckle there, didn't you? I think you caught half the knuckle there, didn't you?
Sorry, buddy.
So I think you hit half the knuckle.
I
when you
did,
went
yeah, I
off, didn't
said that. I said it could have gone absolutely anywhere once it's
Yeah,
made
yeah.
contact with that, but no. Yeah, never made that angle.
you? Yeah, you were never going off.
No,
you?
no. They always play big when you're one.
Jake breaks, pots red, nominates reds. It's a nice controlled nudge on the yellow. It just pushes it out of the way. Just means it's one less obstacle on the table, one less piece of traffic to have to contend with. Now I think the red that's just above the little pack of yellows, just towards the right hand side centre table. Pretty sure that goes now to top left. I think it also passes to right centre, so yeah, you can see from that camera shot that you can just land on it. That works. In fact, that's lovely. What a great shot. It was going to be tricky around there with that traffic, and he's just nudged that red out of the traffic. And well, this should be pretty simple now. I think he takes either middle or top right now. Probably top right, and then the middle, and then top left. Come back down the table for the red over the left centre. Let's get onto the black. It's got a big angle on the one to the left middle, so he's going to go top left now. And as I said earlier, this does pass to right centre. Make sure he finishes high. Give himself an angle to come across for the 8 in the right centre. Sean Chipperfield was 2-0 up against David McNamara. That's now 2 each. Probably not the biggest breaker ever, but that's an effective break. Straight down the middle into the front board, times it well, and they open up okay. I think he's going to play this yellow off the red. He's going to cut it back. Yeah, he's going to cut it back, but I just wondered if he'd play it off the red and try and open everything up. But the yellow closest to us does pass to right centre, to right corner, so he obviously feels that he can navigate a path around these. If he plays that to right corner, then he's got, you can see him just looking at the angle now, to the bottom one of the two passes to left centre, but then he's got that one of the ball that's tied up. Wonder if he could perhaps play this yellow and then cannon into the yellow. He's left an angle to come across now. I was just wondering if he could have played that off the bottom cushion and come up and cannoned kind of half ball into the middle yellow, would have left him on the one to bottom corner and then pushed that yellow up table. I think that was also an option. He'd already spotted this one and preferred this. I'm just not quite so sure about this one. I think it's trickier. I like the cannon onto the middle of the three, because now it's a tough pot. Yeah, it was a tough pot anyway. Andy had to judge the cannon, and he had a big angle, so the cannon was always going to be a little bit tricky. Don't think he spotted the shot I mentioned, but I think that could have been a real option. If he cannon that yellow half ball on the right hand side, he couldn't fail to be on the yellow to left centre, because he had the red next to it, which was basically acting as a goalkeeper. One bad ball for Jake, and he's going to go after it now. Well, makes contact with it, but much thinner than he'd hoped for. May, ironically, have an angle to go up into it again. He's really thin on this red to right corner. There may be too much angle, but the cue ball's naturally tracking up towards. That is pretty thin. May just be able to dig down into the cue ball and just flatten out the angle off the side cushion and get up into that ball in bulk area. He's got the one in the middle. And again, he never really gave that a chance. Neither player's probably settled. There's a miss a frame at the moment from each. And now Jamie with hampered cueing. It's one of those awkward ones where the red's exactly where you want to place your hand, so it means you need to play with a longer bridge. And this one, a tough shot as it is, without being hampered, judges it really well. So just the yellow next to the black. I'm guessing that I'm pretty sure he can get to the potting angle on it, and it goes to right corner, so should be fairly straightforward. Sean Chipperfield's won the next frame against David McNamara. It's now 3-2. Just needs to control one more shot now. The one to middle, cue ball off the bottom cushion, and just leave it the one to the same pocket, just off straight. Just needs to just roll it in, basically. That's perfect. Should be 3 drop-ins here. Pretty much, I mean, if he leaves the angle slightly low, then he can stun for 8 ball on the right centre. If he leaves it straight, he can run it through for centre pocket. Probably just gonna. This is the angle where he can basically do either. He can just stun the cue ball out to play, or he could just run it off the cushion, play it into the left centre. Either or. So 2 frames each.
Okay, 2:15 matches in the Jason Owen On table 2, Danny Lees, Brett Wild. Danny to Lees, Brett Wild, table 2. On table 6, Mike Beckett, Rich Wharton. Mike Beckett, Rich Wharton, table 6. On table 7, Scott Pope, Jez Graham. Scott Pope, Jez Graham, table 7. And last one in the Jason Owen, Neil Raybone, Nigel White on table 8. Neil Raybone, Nigel White, table 8.
Jake's break. And, messy table. Don't think this is going to be a table he's going to want to attack. Yeah, that was never going to be a table that he wanted to attack. As I mentioned, just played a containing shot, put the ball over the pocket, take control. And now could end up being a fairly long frame.
Okay, second session of the Ladies Champions League. On table 11, Harriet Haynes, Kat Jones. Harriet Haynes, Kat Jones, table 11. On table 12, Laura Knight, Sarah Dunn. Laura Knight, Sarah Dunn, table 12. On table 14, Michaela Gardner, Dawn Timbalati. Michaela Gardner, Dawn Timbalati, table 14. And finally for now, on table 20, Dawn Keeling, Lindsay Roberts. Dawn Keeling, Lindsay Roberts, table 20. Next match in the Ladies Champions League on table 16, Sophie Gibbs-Nichols, Lauren Williams. Sophie Gibbs-Nichols, Lauren Williams, table 16. We are waiting for tables, so as soon as they become free, we'll get more matches on.
I didn't think it was from that side, but
Yeah, have a look, mate.
yeah, cheers, mate.
Next match on table 9, Maria Lewis, Paula
Just shows
Boyd.
they're about by our side.
Maria Lewis, Paula Boyd, table 9.
Not frozen or anything.
Next match on table 13, Sharon James, Alice Day. Sharon James, Alice Day, table 13.
Keep sending them over to you, Frank, don't he?
Terry, table 13. Terry, table 13.
The problem for Jake here is just 3 yellows in play, and they're all tied up at the top of the table. And Jamie, he's an old master at these rules. I mean, to be fair, Jake is too. He's been around world rules all his life. Chance if Jamie wants to go. Don't think he will. Nothing extravagant, but he could play the red to right centre. It's got a nice angle to run into the yellow in bulk and push the red towards the pocket. As I say, I didn't think for a second that he would be pushing the bat out there. He's under no pressure to do so.
Next match on table 10 in Ladies Champions League, Marie Cosgrove, Sharon Len. Marie Cosgrove, Sharon Len, table 10. Next match on table 5, Amy Beecham, Sue Fletcher. Amy Beecham, Sue Fletcher, table 5.
Jamie loving a tactical frame, especially when he's got twice the amount of balls on the table as Jake. It's always a massive advantage to have the pieces in play, and he can use his cunning I said after the break that you could see this was going to be a tactical frame. It was always going to be the case. Neither player could attack. Jake asked for a total, and Jamie looking to see whether that ball will go through the gap. Very tight. Jamie said, "You can get through that gap." Jake said, "What, through there?" And he went, "Yeah, you can bend it through there." Little bit of swerve. Does actually make quite a big difference as to whether it was a total or not, because it wasn't. He couldn't have played the shot. He was just trying to run in behind those two yellows, but that's gone a little bit wrong. Jamie won't be in any hurry whatsoever. He's going to want to torture Jake a bit longer. Keep him on the cosh. He won't be pushing the boat out. But he does have a shot now. He could run off the red that he's closest to and develop that ball and run the cue ball in behind red and black. That's a decent option. Pretty much back to where it was a second ago. But, at some point he's going to have to develop that red, so it's just finding the right time to do it. Now that shot that Jake tried last time, Jamie's covered the angle. He does have a one cushion escape though. He could just go one cushion off the back rail and then just run in dead weight in behind the yellows. Which, well, actually, he could get through. To put it over the pocket. The problem is, it was a poor shot from Jamie, letting him see that yellow. But the problem is for Jamie, it's a bit of a fine balance, this one, because it's only really going to take one good shot from Jake, and he picks up this frame. And Jamie, he's had a decent few visits at the table, and at no point has he ever looked like he wants to try and develop the two reds at the top of the table, and still doesn't want to. Don't know. I'm not sure about the tactic, because at no point is Jamie going to get. Is he going to get two visits from Jake? The escapes are too easy. I guess from Jamie's perspective, he's trying to force Jake to move the yellow that's next to the red on the left-hand side in bulk. He's trying to force Jake to make that move. I don't think he expects to get two visits.
On table 17, Lauren Whittemore, Frankie Rogers. Lauren Whittemore, Frankie Rogers, table 17.
Well, he's moved one. And now for Jamie, he's only got one bad ball. And at some point, he's going to have to try and go for these. There's only so long you can defend in this frame. I think his defensive options have just been a little bit too negative. He needed at some point to try and develop the balls in bulk. Now, similarly for Jake, he's also only got one bad ball. So I'd always wondered whether Jamie could see through to the potting angle past the yellow of this one at the top of the table, and I think that shot probably answers the question that he can. He can't avoid cannoning the yellow next to it, so just, well, let's have a look over his shoulder. It looks really tight. Looks really tight. To get I don't think that's there. He's going to have to develop that red. He's going to have to leave an angle on one of the balls in the middle of the table to go up and develop it. It's not the hardest ball to develop. Just need to run into the yellow and you'll be on the red. So he's now left that angle. Would have liked to have not been queuing off the cushion. It just increases the difficulty a little. But I think he's left a fairly natural angle. So he just wants to go up. If he just literally just ran into the yellow, pretty much dead weight, then he'll be on the red. Doesn't want to play it too hard because the yellow could squirt across to the red. Just literally needs to land on it. Too hard. Well, he's missed it anyway. He needed just to run up on it. Full ball contact. Mind you, even if maybe on it now, I still don't think so. He put his hand up to apologise because that's definitely not what he played. Even a little flick on the yellow would have been enough. But yeah, he's got down and cued it. Somehow he's landed on it. The smile on Jake's face is not because he finds it funny. Wow. Miss pot. And after all that, should be frame to Jake. He's going to have to play a plant along the top cushion. Cue ball's tracking as well. Cue ball up and down the table. How's your look? Very good. Landed plumb.
This ain't over yet.
3-2 Jake.
Made any difference, but the fact that I missed the spit and then
You might have taken it earlier then.
yeah, I don't know if the boys were kinder to me because I had one over there, but probably wouldn't want to take that on with the red in front of the yellow. You're like, you know. No, the only time I wanted it. Handed rather out of cannon.
Table 2, please. There, Craig. All right, table 2.
Jamie Graham has not been without his chances in this match. But we've put Jamie on the stream a couple of times now and he just seems to struggle a little bit in the arena. Not sure why. So Shake's plan for can land on the top one as a double and leave an angle to get the bottom one out, perhaps.
Thank you. Table 15, please.
I think he played to leave the double now and finished really high. He could play the one to the left corner now, but you don't really want to do that because that's the only other ball on the table. That means you've got to play the developing shot and land on it as your last ball. Yeah, this increases the difficulty somewhat because you have to develop, and that's the only ball you can land on. So cushion first and needs pretty much a full ball contact. But don't forget to pot. So easy to take your eye off the pot and take it for granted because you're looking at the cannon. And that's exactly what he does. That was, I mean, he made the cannon. It was absolutely perfect, but it was, the double was very, very gettable. But I think he just took it for granted. Could be another twist in the tail in this one. I think Jamie would have been fearing the worst, but he's back at the table. Ooh, jeepers. He's got hold of that. That is what you call timing. He screwed at the length of the table, and I think he was looking to come back about half that distance.
Right, table 3. Emma Cunningham, Bishop Brown, table 3, please. Table 7, Ashley Gismore, Rachel Davis, please. Table 7.
Still got a couple of tough shots to pull out. This one up the top left cushion, but he's landed. Yeah, perfectly on it. And I think he can leave the gap as well, so doesn't need to do much with the cue ball, just probably. The thing is, I think I prefer, it takes all of the danger out if you screw to the bottom of the table. I prefer coming below the black and then taking the red nearest to us first and then the other one, rather than trying to find the gap. And that Jamie agreed. There's nothing that can go wrong with this shot. As long as you make the pot, there's literally nothing that can go wrong. With the other one, you could have just decelerated and not found the gap, and then there's an issue. If he finishes high or low on this red, then he's guaranteed to be able to get position on the next. Can just cannon into the yellow, and that was simplifying it. Good stuff. So Jake went from big favourite to now being right back in the mix.
You can look back.
I nearly got
I helped him launch his career.
betting in the other event. I'm gonna go up again. I'm gonna do it in the other event.
Oh, fuck. Mate, it's hard to focus. I know that. Get on, bud. You're not playing holiday makers in the other event, right?
Mate, I'm one of the holiday makers.
Yeah. Fortunately, you played around the clock. Get on, bud.
All the best, buddy. Cheers. Yeah, I know. I was just looking at the way the balls went. So. I normally won't get that. I do apologise. That's alright. I normally wouldn't get featured.
Dry break from Jake Mccartney. And chance for Jamie. Got to be yellows. Or does it? I don't know. That red over the bottom right. Oh, that's horrible, but look at the reds. Those two reds on the side cushion. The thing is with yellows, albeit you've got that red over the right pocket, all of the yellows do pass into left. He's looking at reds. He's looking at Harry. Where's your opener though? On reds. I mean, tricky both on both sets. Yellows for me. I bet everyone sees it differently. I think if it wasn't for the fact that all the yellows are kind of centre table, if there was something a bit closer to that right hand corner pocket, then I would have said definitely the opposite. But I just think I prefer yellows here. So all those yellows at the bottom of the table kind of connect with each other. Wild. Oh dear. I don't know. I'm not sure how to commentate on that. Ironically, it's come out pretty well for him because he can play yellow onto red onto yellow, leave Jake's yellow on top of the red, and his red over the pocket. He's looking at taking the ball off the table first, but I'm not sure why. I think I want to leave everything in play. Maybe he's thinking that he wants another red down there rather than a yellow. But then he's got... Yeah, I suppose this is a bit better because I guess with the other shot, you're not guaranteed to take the pocket, but with this one you are. You can just play it into the gap and you have two balls. That's okay. A little bit clumsy. Could have played that with a touch less pace. Just wonder whether can you feed that yellow through the gap and get below the red that's near the pocket, or even off the other red. I don't know. From that angle, the gap looks bigger, doesn't it? I think you can get that yellow into the gap, down into the cushion, and jam the other one out, and maybe even it just makes it messy. I mean, I just look back at the start of the frame and I wonder what was going through Jamie's mind. I mean, if you were just going to have a heave-ho at them, why not go yellows? Don't know. Strange one. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. It just messes up one of Jamie's balls. And now it looks like he can just get through to the plant. If he wants to really push the bout out here, he could go for these. I reckon we're going to see him take these on. The yellow goes to left centre above the black, and he's going to cannon the other yellow towards the pocket. Just needs to think about this one at the right hand side cushion. He's probably going to have to take the ball that's over the right hand pocket first, because he's judged that cannon pretty well. What you do? I mean, he's got a pretty big pocket down here, but he's not going to be able to play that yellow down into that pocket because he's in danger of flicking the yellow across onto the red. Still a bit awkward. That's why Jake's taking his time. He's got an angle now, he could screw straight up table, but that's not the issue. It's doesn't want to go behind the red, and he has. So I thought he could have gripped that a little bit more and just played more centre table and taken that red right out of play. And now probably just may have to trust a little bit to luck here. He can still play this one down the rail. A big pocket, he can screw back up table, but the yellow's going to be moving. The one near the pocket's going to be moving. And yeah, he's judged that okay. That's not too bad. The yellow at the top is not welded to the cushion, so he can still control this. think he can just play this with possibly just right hand side and a little bit of bottom. It's gone into the black. Does he get a flick? No, he doesn't. Well, he could have come considerably wider in his line than he did, but was possibly concerned about the two reds on the right hand side. He didn't want to come too wide and get tangled up with those two, so came a bit shallower, but too much. And the problem for him now is this could be his last shot. If he doesn't find the potting angle, then all the reds are there for Jamie. Pretty simple. He needs to at least cover the pocket. Well, he's kind of got a bit of a second prize. He's pushed the yellow in front of one of Jamie's reds. So Jamie is either going to have to move that or he's going to have to double it. I don't think moving is much of an option. There's nothing really naturally which you can use. You can play this as a shot to nothing, maybe try and pot it long and screw the cue ball back down to where his hand is. That's not a bad option. Jake unable to play a double because the red's in the line of the pocket to the right hand side, so that was, as I say, a bit of a shot to nothing. He's got another two cushion if he wants it. He'll come off the top and side cushions. I mean, he could go at it direct, but I just think the margin for error is greater if you do use the side cushion. Gone directly at it. Has he got it?
Right, table 8, please, Fred.
Not a million miles away.
Chris Hampson,
But
please. Table 8.
do you know what? This still isn't absolutely straightforward. He's stuck on the cushion. The red is pretty much dead straight. Oh. Jamie, it's just as if he's able to go for a bathroom break. What a time. That's what happens when you're drinking those bottles of
Right, Nathan Ellis, Pat Walls,
everyone in this corner, Jez, they're all having a laugh about it. It's either weak bladder syndrome or a case of too many cobras. I mean, what a time to go. That's amazing. 3 each, couple balls left on the table, off for a toilet break. Oh well, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. He's back. As I was saying a second ago, this is most definitely not straightforward. Big shot coming up. Very nice. Played that really well. Look at that. It's like some out of the Muppet Show there, isn't it? Statler and Waldorf watching on. Jez on the gin and tonics. Jez on the left, Greg Batten on the right. Look at Greg. He's properly into it. He's geeing him up. Hey? Come on, son. Brilliant. Oh dear. Throws his cue down in disgust. Ouch. Well, don't get many better chances. Well, for those of you who can lip read, you'll see what Jake just said. It was something about his bed. Shot. Wow, what a game! Good stuff. Look, we're going to take a break now, but we are going to leave you with some action. John McAllister is about to play his next round game, and he will be playing Matt Barcock. So we are going to go live with that action, but we're just going to step away for a bit of a break. So it's just going to be a fixed off camera. We're going to take a break and just go and get some lunch. We'll be back with the action in about an hour or so. But in the meantime, enjoy this game between John McAllister and Matt Barcock. See you in about an hour.